Well, it's been a very intense first week in the job. 7 days since I was appointed Chancellor of the Exchequer. One thing that I will always remember is walking into the Treasury for the first time as Chancellor of the Exchequer. To every young woman and girl. To every young woman and girl watching this, let today show that there should be no ceilings on your ambitions, your hopes or your dreams. The huge privilege of that, but the responsibility that I feel to be a role model for young women and girls, and also build an economy that works better for women. I'm really proud to have that opportunity, but I also recognise that with it comes an obligation really to deliver on those promises. We are going to get Britain's economy growing again, and there is no time to waste. We will take on the hard work of reforming our public services to make them fit for the future.
I thought it was a very capable speech, very action-oriented, straight out of the blocks. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it differently. I think the underlying messages of greater collaboration are so important, that public-private partnership and of fixing the foundations.
I was clear that I wanted on Monday to make a set of announcements, and that meant not just me being in this building over the weekend working on those, but Treasury staff as well. Growing the economy is the #1 mission of this new government, and I needed staff to help me put those plans together over the weekend. So I'm really grateful for all the support, all the advice that I've had over the last few days, not just from staff here, but also in Darlington. Just up on the train to Darlington this morning. It's quite amusing to think that, this time last week I was counting the streets in my constituency. A lot has changed in this last week, and it's been fantastic to finally put into practice some of the things that I've been talking about for the last few years. I was really pleased in the first week of the job to be able to get to the Darlington Economic Campus, to thank them for what they're doing, and just to say how grateful I am for them all getting on board and helping us this week deliver on those first steps that we're taking to unlock private business investment in our economy. We've created the National Wealth Fund to leverage in private sector investment in some of the jobs and industries of the future, including jobs in the north of England in green hydrogen, carbon capture and storage, gigafactories for electric vehicles, and so much more. To be Chancellor of the Exchequer as part of this new incoming government is the privilege of my life, and I've spent the last few years developing my plans for what I would want to do with this opportunity. We've established a National Wealth Fund to leverage in private sector investment, to invest in some of the jobs and industries of the future. There's huge opportunities in the UK because of our industrial heritage, our geography, great businesses and the skills we have to bring good jobs and investments to Britain.
I think the enormous goodwill and credibility that's been generated by the government in what has been less than 100 hours is very, very important. And I think it's a very, very good harbinger for the future.
To have started to deliver on those promises and that ambition, and I'm determined to work with my colleagues in the Cabinet, staff here, but actually, most importantly perhaps, with businesses around the country to get that investment that we need into our economy to create good jobs and to improve living standards for working people.
We're already very encouraged at the speed at which the Chancellor and the Secretary of State have responded to our recommendations, and what we'd like to see is that the National Wealth Funds get stood up as quickly as possible. The race to net zero is a race for investment, and this is a fantastic opportunity for the UK to demonstrate a really innovative way of actually co-investing and getting public and private capital towards these key infrastructure priorities.
We've got to work this week, we've got started. I know there's loads more to do, but we are going to grow the economy with more good jobs, tackle the cost of living crisis, and also, crucially, make sure the sums always add up. Those are the important jobs of the Chancellor of the Exchequer. So a very intense first week, a lot done, but we've got a lot more to do, and I'm really looking forward to getting on with the job.